Welcome to Crow and Klein here today with a daily energetic check-in. I have the Sacred Forest Oracle. We used it for this morning's reading, or I used it for this morning's reading, and I'm going to use it for this afternoon. So our card of focus is Willow Spirit with Flexibility. That's a beautiful card, isn't it? Okay, it's about being flexible in your life, right? It encourages you to be flexible in your life. And, there is power in having flexibility be a choice of yours rather than just feeling like you're forfeiting your will to something. Okay? Sometimes the greater value is to go around a situation rather than to face it head on. Be adaptable. Right? In rough winds, an oak tree might break. Right? They're really strong. But the willow can bend without snapping. It's really about adjusting, let me find my words. It's really about adjusting to your situations, adapting to your situations rather than fighting them, right? Surrendering to the process, because the willow can weather storms. And if a willow can weather the storms with flexibility, then you too can weather life's challenges. Now, traditionally, the willow has been used across many legends, right? It's associated with gods and goddesses. In ancient Athens, the priests would actually place willow branches in their temples because they believed that it would draw mystical healing to them. The willow has always been sacred to poets, right? The sound of the winds through the willows is an influence for poetic expression. In Celtic times, the willow has always been known as a tree of dreaming or inspiration, enchantment, those kinds of things. Okay? So when we can be amenable to change and be flexible in how we move through that, you're going to flourish in ways you didn't know possible, right? You're going to bend and not break. And the sun's going to come out, right? Flexibility. I really like the Celtic thing with this card about, being a tree of dreaming and inspiration and enchantment, right? And I feel like that might be important for today, for this reading today too. Okay. I have the Witch of the Forest. Yes, I used it this morning too, but it was calling to me today, so I want to continue with it as we're talking about flexibility, and we're in the forest with the willow spirit. Actually, are willows in forests? That's an interesting thought. I'm trying to think. I've had willow trees in my yard before, but they're usually like kind of off by themselves. Interesting. Bend, don't break. Okay. Oh, we have the Emperor. Right out of the gate, the nature of, ruling your world. So, the Emperor has mastered all 4 realms of all 4 kings, right? And sits upon this throne high above. So there can be kind of a disconnect, right? The Emperor is also about law and order. They kind of do rule with an iron fist here. So this to me seems like that sort of strong oak energy, right? The one that breaks if the wind is too strong, where the willow bends. So are you being too rigid in something in your life right now? In your energy is the world, so you are definitely completing a karmic cycle and finishing up a leg of a journey, ending a chapter in your life, which means something new is coming, right? Right now you need to be flexible because there is some kind of ending happening. And you know it on some level because this is in your energy. right? Something is coming to an end. Keep in mind, it does have to do with your material world stability, right? With the Knight. The Knight is very strategic with money, property, investments, that kind of thing. Material world, abundance. So there is movement towards something concerning your finances here, okay? This is linked to your finances. So being flexible right now is important in whatever the situation is, and it appears that you are kind of ruling like the emperor in your world. Okay. Time to be flexible. It's like there's this last little thing that you have to go through. And I say little thing. I don't know if it's going to feel little. But there's this one thing. And if you can just be adaptable and flexible through it. Like Willow Spirit says, sometimes it's better to go around something than to hit it face to face, right? Maybe this strategy with the Knight is something you need to keep in mind too. You know, instead of being so rigid like the Emperor. Because the Emperor can be a little bit detached as well when ruling, right? Kind of far from the action. But that Knight is kind of in there. Under the Emperor, you have the Lovers. Yeah, this is a realignment for you. The Lovers card really brings you back to your center, to your authentic self. And in order to get there, you can't get there by being strict and rigid in law and order like the Emperor. It's about getting to that juicy center and understanding who you are at your core, right? Your authentic self, who you really are, without all the masks, without all the labels, right? This seems to be like, yeah, there's something you're gonna have to sort of move and bend around before this ending, right? And the way to do that is to be flexible and look at it not through the filter of the Emperor, who's ruling with that iron fist, but through the filter of your true authenticity. That is going to help you navigate whatever this is, right? Not necessarily navigate, but move through it in a fluid, bendy manner. Now that's not bending your will. Okay, this is absolutely your choice, but there's a better way for you to go through this. Under the World comes the Ace of Pentacles. That's a lot of cha-ching, right? Material world abundance, steady finances, solid foundations, grounded energy. All right, this is the reward for completing this cycle. This is in your energy. So you understand that you're moving in the right direction as far as material world and stable foundations and grounded energy. Like you understand that you're moving in the right direction with that ace showing up in your energy. Okay? You understand that there is a need to reconnect with your authentic self for this next part. This is where you don't, no offense to anybody's bestie out there or mentors out there, but this is where you ask yourself, ask your authentic self what the next step is, right? Ask your highest self what the next step is. And sometimes there's not a step. Sometimes you just have to be flexible. You know, this morning's reading was all about flow and a meandering path. So this sort of ties in with that a little bit, I think. And we have the Hierophant showing up. Okay, So, yeah, tradition, societal structures, mentor, teacher. It's also a card of ceremony and ritual. It can represent, karmic. I think it's karmic past lives as well, sort of our personal foundation of who we are now. We bring pieces of ourselves with us from other lives, right? We keep building upon a foundation, but this can also be sort of societal restrictions on you, right? It almost has the same feel as that emperor a little bit, doesn't it? But it's coming out underneath this knight. So maybe you're attempting to build this foundation, this stability in an unconventional way, right? And it's been difficult because you've got to traverse structures, institutional structures put in place. I mean, it could be banking institutions in this reading, right? I think the message here is to stay in touch with your authentic self. You're going to know what to do, and it's going to help you get to the finish line. Okay. This is really interesting. Okay. Yep. Oh, hang on. My little low power button just went on. Yeah, so the Page of Swords is coming out. So yeah, it's best to get to high ground. Take a look around so that you can actually see what it is that's happening. Okay. This just means that you'll see what's around you. You'll see what's coming towards you. And it'll give you a moment to, I don't know, bob and weave. Right? Because remember, the Willow Spirit says sometimes it's better to just be flexible and go around the things, our challenges, right? Than to face them head on. It doesn't mean that you're weak. It doesn't mean that you're giving up. It just means that some things aren't worth fighting over. Okay. Yeah, this is, whatever this is, look at, there's generational wealth with the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, whatever this is leading you here. So just trust the process. Stay flexible. You're going to have to leave the rigidity behind. All right. You're going to have to leave the rigidity behind. Sorry, that goes right there. This is in your energy. This is a lot. Look at, you have the Ace of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles and the World in your energy. So whatever this is, just seriously be flexible, because it's going to be so amazing for you. So amazing. Under the Hierophant is the Six of Cups. So this is memories. Usually good memories. Something that's coming back around from the past, perhaps. This is amazing. Could be a person. And it's coming out under the Hierophant. Remember I was saying about past lives. This could be someone, memories of someone from another lifetime, right? Coming back around. Maybe this person is going to be back in your life again, in this lifetime. Maybe it's something that happened when you were younger, and you were flexible in that situation. Okay, there's a remembrance. There's a remembrance with it. There's a remembrance with it. Yeah, and you've got the Ten of Swords. So this is all going to end this pain, right? This is an ending. You have endings here. You have beginnings here. Well, you have endings here. Yeah, it's with this one last little bit. This one last little bit. All right, let's see if there's one more card. Stay flexible. Don't give up on your dreams, right? And your inspirations. Something's coming back around again, right? Oh my goodness sakes. The Star. Wishes, dreams, guiding light, your North Star. I mean, you're being redirected back to your authentic self. There's something maybe that you forgot. So staying flexible with this, you might be getting downloads. You might be having a lot of memories resurface. And good ones, right? With that Six of Cups. Pay attention to them because I think there's a clue there. There's information there that's going to help you get to your crossing the finish line. There's a lot of material world abundance here that's coming in. Maybe it's something you did in the past and then thought it wasn't ever going to go anywhere. Like, you know, we carry our North Star within us too, our guiding light. So going within, getting back to the authentic self with the Lover's card here is going to help you move forward and move through whatever this is. But it's coming to an end, right? You're coming to the end of your journey with that, with the World card. Under the deck, we have the Six of Wands. So there's going to be some victory and triumph, maybe some recognition with whatever this is, right? Well deserved. Well deserved. Okay. All right. That is your message for today. Thank you so much for being here. Like and subscribe, share with your besties, and I'll see you next time.